guys, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Monica and I post videos all about personal finance, all about the stimulus checks, all about budgeting during a crisis, all about investing for beginners. So if you are interested in topics like those, you already know what to do. Be sure to subscribe down below to the channel. Join this community of people who are learning all about the stimulus checks, all about investing, all about budgeting during a crisis. So also, like this video, please. Thank you for liking this video. Turn on your post notifications. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. So today is your Saturday second round of stimulus check and stimulus package update. There have been so many questions like, is there another stimulus payment coming? What's the second stimulus check release date? So I'm here to answer all of these questions and break it all down. So with the Senate scheduled to take a recess for the Memorial Day holiday, action on the second relief bill won't resume until after legislators return to Washington on June 1st. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has really been putting the pressure on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to pass another stimulus package because it's clear that the majority of people in this country are in favor of a massive relief bill. Now, Pelosi has said the $3 trillion HEROES Act that the House passed on Friday has broad support across the country, and McConnell cannot afford to just wait around to make a decision and move forward with this bill. I personally think it's like a game of tennis. First, the House of Representatives says, oh, the Senate isn't doing anything. Then the Senate says, oh, the House of Representatives isn't doing anything. And it's constantly this ping pong match, and we need to stop playing games and get the ball rolling with this next round of stimulus. Everyone wants to make it seem like they're doing so much or like the other side isn't doing enough, when in all honesty, the best way for us to move forward is for us to work together, put politics aside, and get the ball rolling. But will that happen? Probably not. Now, in my opinion, neither party is really doing anything, because even though Pelosi passed this massive HEROES Act with the House of Representatives on Friday, there's no way that she could have believed that the way that this HEROES Act is formed, that the Senate would approve of this, that they would be like, oh yeah, let's give money to undocumented illegal aliens and let's give money to cannabis. That is so far from what Republicans are interested in or is their main driving point. So for her to set up this bill knowing that they most likely are not going to go for these things is wasting some time. McConnell has said the 4 rounds of legislation the House and Senate already passed were successful, and now America is ready to reopen. McConnell has said it worked. The American people did what Americans do, they got it done. But Pelosi said on Thursday, the work is far from over to help struggling families and protect public employees from layoffs. Now, the House's $3 trillion plan is the most expensive bill passed in history, and it's probably not big enough, she said at a press conference this past Thursday. So at this point, she is saying go big or go home. She actually said, we went big, but not any bigger than is necessary. In fact, we could do more, and probably we will have to do more depending on what comes next in our economy and meeting our health needs. I agree with her. I think they could be doing more. I think $3 trillion is a lot of money, but we've never seen a crisis like this in our lifetime, so we have to spend and move in a way that we have never before. Pelosi has actually said that the $3 trillion bill was lean. It's lean, it's disciplined, it's focused on the health and well-being of the American people. It is a way to open up our economy based on science. Now, the HEROES Act in its current form includes $915 billion in state and local aid that could prevent layoffs to public workers, including first responders, teachers. It also includes a new $200 billion HEROES fund for hazard pay for essential workers, $100 billion for K through 12 and higher education, and $75 billion for testing. Now, the legislation, of course, doles out another round of $1,200 stimulus checks up to $6,000 per household, and the bill extends add-on unemployment benefits of $600 in addition to state benefits through January 2021. It also provides $175 billion for families to pay their mortgages and rent. The legislation in its current form also includes student loan forgiveness, an employee retention tax credit, and increases maximum SNAP benefits by 15%. Whew. So she was not playing around when she created this bill. It is chock full of support for the people during this pandemic. Now, the catch-22 is tucked into the legislation are provisions that Republicans are not really in favor of, including expanding those $1,200 checks to certain undocumented immigrants, restoring the full state and local tax deduction that helps individuals in high tax blue states, a $25 billion rescue for the U.S. Postal Service, and also allowing legal marijuana businesses to access banking services and early voting and vote by mail provisions. You may have already heard our president say he is so against voting by mail. He believes it will allow for more voter fraud. Now, this is interesting because as the president, he does mail-in voting for New York. He also has a home in Florida. So whenever he is at the White House or wherever he is around the country or the world, he does mail-in voting. And a lot of states have used mail-in voting. It's been successful. So I don't think that mail-in voting will be an issue, but we will see what they include in the next bill. Now, most recently, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said there was a high likelihood of Congress passing a second economic stimulus package. Now, Mitch McConnell did say during a Thursday interview with Fox News that a second relief package would likely be needed, and I agree with that. He said its size and scope would remain uncertain until legislators had a chance to gauge the full impact of the first package and the speed of local economies' revivals as states reopen. McConnell said, and I quote, "Only about half of that money has gone out yet. We're not quite ready to intelligently lay down the next step, but it's not too far off." Now, according to a Thursday report from the Associated Press, Republican congressional leaders were discussing the possibility of pulling back unemployment benefits because they do fear that it will deter people from wanting to go back to work. McConnell said, "We do need to continue unemployment insurance. It's extremely important at a time like this, but to pay people more not to work than to work doesn't encourage resuming your job. That will end in July. We think that in order to create jobs, we need to incentivize people to go back to work and not encourage them to stay home." A second relief package will definitely include liability protections for employers who bring employees back into the workplace. He described this issue of liability protection as their red line for Republican senators who view the possibility of this legal problem as just a red line. They are saying we are not playing around with liability protection. We will protect these small businesses at all costs. Now, another thing to think about is workers who might be scared to go back to work because they won't have the same protections as they once did. Meaning that if we do include liability protection, now employees might be more fearful to come back to work because if they contract the virus, they don't have the same protections or the same legal abilities as they did before they passed this liability protection. Now, McConnell said Congress would need to seriously look at what worked, what didn't with the first bill before moving forward with a second. He said, "I think there is a high likelihood we will do another rescue package, but we need to be able to measure the impact of what we've already done, what we did right, what we did wrong, and correct that." So that is it. That is your stimulus package for today, Saturday, all about the second round of stimulus checks. So we are going to have to hang tight until June 1st when Congress comes back into session. They can really dissect this HEROES Act and decide what they want to include, what they want to take out, and we can finally go ahead and move forward with more stimulus checks and more stimulus in the midst of this crisis. If you like this video, if it provided any value for you, please consider subscribing down below to my channel. Also, like this video. I'll take a moment for you to do that. Also, don't forget to turn on your post notifications. Comment down below what you think of all this. And until next time, I will catch you all in my next stimulus check update. Bye, guys.